the appeals court's 7-4 ruling as a constitutional gut check. What the court has said is that Trump's tariffs, again, imposed under these emergency powers, overstepped only because Congress can set sweeping taxes. And that's what's most important here. By and large, Americans everywhere want checks and balances, not unchecked power, which is what we saw Trump doing. And I think even you would agree, as a former governor, that the Constitution is not partisan. It protects us all. And so when we talk about how tariffs hurt businesses, we need more clarity. My time in D.C. has taught me that businesses need certainty. The court, again, has kept Trump's tariffs in place for now, but retailers like the National Retail Federation are saying that they're struggling to plan inventory 6 months out. And so what I hear from small businesses is echoing this, essentially, that tariffs do two things. They raise concerns and they increase chaos. And when you see Trump's $125 billion in revenue, it's real, right? But so is inflation ticking up. And I think what this Trump administration is going to have to do is balance growth with stability.
Yeah, Rina brings up a great point there, in terms of kind of backstocking, if you will. Large companies can do it. Small businesses really can't. They don't have that kind of cash flow. So, Brian Tyler Cohen, thank you for joining us. Again, another one that is never short of words, especially when we're talking about hits to the president's agenda. We talk about inflation a little bit. Inflation has moved a little bit, but not nearly as much as maybe some folks had thought back in April. Are people going to really feel the impacts? And where does this go politically? I think that's the big question. Do Democrats champion this and say, yeah, let's undo all of these deals that are actually bringing some cash into the United States?
Well, what they're doing is bringing cash paid for by American consumers. I mean, these tariffs are paid for not by foreign countries, as has been promised by Trump and the administration. They're lying to people. The tariffs are a consumption tax on Americans. And so inflation is rising right now. It's been rising every month since March. And the reason that Trump decided to do this unilaterally, even though it was unconstitutional, which has been affirmed by the Court of International Trade and then affirmed yet again today by the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals, is because he didn't want to make Congress do something that was unpopular. And of course Congress wouldn't do something that was unpopular. And this is the peak of unpopularity because these tariffs are, again, nothing more than a consumption tax on Americans. So when Rina rightfully pointed out that we've seen $125 billion in taxes, yeah, that's great that it'll help pay down the debt. But let's not delude ourselves into thinking that it's foreign countries that pay it. It is Americans. And so of course it's unpopular. If Trump thought he can get Congress to do it, that would have been a much easier legal route for him, but he didn't take it, and he likely won't take it because, again, nobody wants to stick their necks out for something that is so aggressively unpopular as this.
Well, I think there's an argument to be made that Congress won't put their necks out sometimes for things that are even popular. To get them to do anything sometimes is like moving a boulder. So, John, obviously the White House is going to have some type of response to this. What can we expect, do you think, over the next few weeks?
Governor, thanks for having me. This is just another example of the left-wing appellate court clown show going on in the country. President Trump won in a landslide, carried every swing state, got more popular votes than any president in history ever. And so basically the tariffs were the centerpiece of his campaign to bring jobs back. This is going to get upheld by SCOTUS. So it's a nice talking point here, but it's a waste of time. And as far as this idea that these tariffs are somehow taxed, they're not taxed. The purpose of the tariffs is to bring jobs and manufacturing back to the United States. If you don't want to pay the tariffs, no problem. Get the jobs here, hire our people, pay them a decent wage instead of scouring the globe for slave labor, which Wall Street has done for 6 decades and got us in this mess. What countries do is they have to compete with American-made goods now. So if there's a tariff and the products become too expensive, this has nothing to do with inflation. This is going to be covered by cutting the margins of those companies if they want to compete in the United States. Inflation has not moved up, despite one of my colleagues here has said. So that is a false claim. And President Trump has got this right. SCOTUS is going to uphold it. And the tariffs is part of Trump's overall economic plan to bring good-paying jobs, prosperity and our sovereignty back to the United States.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.